Sir, 2 Romulan warbirds are decloaking directly in front of us.
Red alert, shields up.
We are being hailed, Captain.
Federation ship, surrender or be destroyed.
Captain, why are you challenging us?
Several of our ships have been destroyed or have gone missing in this area. No doubt you are responsible.
Federation ships have come under attack in this area as well. We are investigating.
Do not try to fool us. We are not so easily swayed.
What can we do to prove that we have no hostile intent?
If we are to believe you, drop your shields as a sign of good faith.
Ensign, mute audio.
Aye, sir.
First 2 things they teach you at the Academy. Never drop your shields, and never trust the Romulans.
I have to agree with the Chief, Commander. I don't think it's a good idea.
Admiral Liu mentioned a diplomatic crisis. I recommend we avoid confrontation if possible.
Captain, the choice is yours. Resume audio.
Aye, sir.
Federation ship, you have 60 seconds to comply.
Cancel red alert.
We are being hailed, Captain.
I may have been wrong about you, Captain. The Romulans and the Federation have not always been on the best of terms, yet you choose to trust us.
Captain, you've been patrolling this area.
We have been in this area for the last several days.
Do you have any information about what is happening here?
We've been tracking a distinct increase in Cardassian activity throughout the Maelstrom. From the evidence we've gathered, I would surmise they are being aided by an unknown source. That is all I know.
Thank you. You've been very helpful.
Until we meet again, Captain.
The Romulan warbirds are leaving the system.
Can't say I'm sorry to see the hind end of their engines.
We should move on to the next system in our patrol route, Captain.
Well, that was a tiny bit butt-puckering, but welcome back to Star Trek Bridge Commander, guys. And I suppose given what happened in the last mission, I could have just said you and what army to the Romulans there, considering how badly I whooped the other 2 warbirds that I was up against in the last episode. But I suppose Federation, diplomacy, all that, we kind of like being diplomatic when we can be.
Captain, I'm receiving a distress signal from the Ferengi ship, the Kravis.
Where is it coming from?
It originated near Voltaire 1.
Ah yes, the Kravis, that ship that fired at me back when I was a Galaxy-class starship and has tried, has tried to smuggle stuff through Federation space. Should I let it? Nah, this is a chance to test my new Doom Cannon ship. Well, I wouldn't call it a Doom Cannon ship, but it's a chance to test out my rather impressive new ship. And let's see what Prague thinks of it.
Long-range scans are picking up the Ferengi vessel, sir. The Marauder is under attack by several Galors. One of the Galors has changed course and is headed right for us.
Ah, I see. Attack pattern suicide is what that Galor's doing. Well, let's get moving. I'm actually heading straight for the Kravis here, rather than...
The Kravis is outnumbered and outgunned. I don't think she can hold out very long without...
Or at least I'm trying to head straight for the Kravis here, rather than engage the Galor coming to me, because that Galor I can take out at any time. What I want to do is target the ships that are attacking the Kravis and try and pull them off if I can do. Unfortunately, dropping my shields hasn't helped. Sorry, dropping my sensors haven't helped here. I need to have them sort of back online in order to find these 2 ships. But now I've got them, and now we're going to see a pretty, a rather pathetic display from the Cardassians, it has to be said. But then again, you know, we've got the best ship in the Federation's arsenal against, well, the... Galore used to be the top-range Cardassian ship before the Keldon came along, so, you know, Cardassian military technology just ain't up to it anymore, I guess, and that's probably why they've had their butt kicked in every single war that they've been involved in. I mean, you have to remember that even before they joined the Dominion, the Cardassian military was just wiped out by a Klingon invasion, and I highly doubt that the Klingons were, you know, I doubt the Klingons were throwing 100% of the ships available to them at the attack. Now this is something that you have to get used to. The Galors will warp out given the opportunity. So one thing that you can do if you want to be a little bit on the nasty side, and let's face it, I do. You can target the Galor's warp engines, and if you disable them, obviously the Galor can't warp out, and therefore you get to destroy it at your leisure. But as you can see, now that I've pulled one of the Galors off, the Kravis is actually helping us in this fight. And the Kravis is, well, it's damaged for sure, but it's definitely a match for a Galor class ship. So, but then again, the Galor class ship, as I said, it's basically, the other word for it is cannon fodder. So I think we're going to have this Galor lead very shortly, unless we accidentally get a warp engine shot on it, and then we'll be able to talk to our good old friend Prague.
Captain, the Cardassian ships have withdrawn.
The Marauder captain is hailing us, sir. On screen.
This is Damon Prague of the Kravis. 1,000 thank yous, Federation vessel. Mere Latinum could not express the joy we feel for your charitable acts.
Hello, Damon.
You again, Commander. Well, we are not unhappy to see you with your new expensive vessel.
Expensive and well-armed, Damon. But don't worry, there is no charge for our help.
Excellent. Very well, then. We wish you much good fortune in your journeys. Goodbye.
We could use some information, though. There have been a number of unprovoked attacks in the area, and we intend to put a stop to them.
Ah, yes. As rule of acquisition number 34 states, war is good for business.
Damon Prague.
I am not fool enough to stand between the Federation and its enemies. Ask your questions. I will answer as best I can, and I won't even charge a fee.
We are looking for information about who is behind the attacks. Surely a Damon of your means has information regarding this matter.
I have some sources. They tell me the Cardassians have recently begun a buildup of forces in the area. In fact, we were traveling through this sector with a load of leukocyte ore when we were attacked, without provocation. We tried the standard bribes, but they ignored us. It makes no sense. There are more valuable cargoes than mine to raid.
What about the Romulans? Were they involved?
My sources tell me the Romulans are no more involved than the Federation or Klingons. They are simply here to investigate the recent attacks. Now, if that will be all, we have repairs to make.
We should move on to the next system in our patrol route, Captain.
So, Cardassians rebuilding their military, huh? You'd think that with 800 million of them dead at the end of the Dominion War, they'd have concentrated on internal stuff.
Before determining who is responsible
But,
for the attacks in this
you know,
area.
military minds and military in Cardassia has been run by the military for a very long period of time.
Cancel red
Apparently
alert.
in the post-Next Generation sort of era, or post-DS9 era, the Cardassians rebuild sort of with Federation help and become a lot more amicable of a people, shall we say, but, you know, they took a monstrous beating in order to get to that area, and, you know, obviously with nothing on screen, or that isn't on screen being canon, you can't take it for granted.
Red alert, shields up.
Captain, I'm detecting several Cardassian and Romulan ships. The Romulans appear to be outnumbered.
Sir, the Romulans are broadcasting a distress call on all frequencies.
Captain, the Romulan warbird is the Cairo, commanded by Captain Tarek.
That's the same warbird that attacked us at Vesuvi.
One of the warbirds is heavily damaged and won't last long. Shall we assist?
After they attacked us?
Starfleet regulations require us to respond to any distress call. Lieutenant, target the lead Cardassian ship and prepare to engage.
Aye, Commander.
We are being hailed by the warbird, sir. On screen.
I see you have come to join your Cardassian friends.
Sir, they've cut transmission.
Ugh, this jackass again. Well, at least this time we're going to help him a little bit. Now, there's no way that we can save the other warbird. We just can't. Its shields are down, and it's down to like 10% hull and has all 3 Galors and a Keldon contact concentrating on it. So the best we can do is save the Cairo. So we're into a little bit of a furball here. 3 Galores and a Keldon. I wouldn't say it's a threat, but it's definitely a... especially with the Cairo around, flying sort of interference for us. I wouldn't say it's a threat to us, but you know, it's a respectable enough force. If it was 4 Keldons, I'd be a lot more worried. But you'll notice I'm using photon torpedoes rather than quantum torpedoes. That's basically because you have to play this game, certainly in the beginning, you have to play it sort of I might need it later. So quantum torpedoes, because you can't get a refill of them yet, you really can't just go around firing them hiddledy-piddledy. You only have 60 of them, so you need a lot more. And as you can see, I took out the Galore's warp engines there with those torpedoes, so now I'm just going to completely burn through its hull and it can't escape. Yeah, nice torpedo there. I'll just take that on the shields. No bother. What I really should do here, more than likely, is concentrate on the Keldons. The Galore... Well, having said that though, no, the Keldon doesn't actually have much more firepower than the Galore. It does have a little bit, but not too much more. So considering how much quicker Galores fall over compared to Keldons, it's probably best to take the Galores on, and that way I can take them, I can take them out fairly easily. But I'm going to ignore my own advice and take the Keldon out. Why not? It does have another torpedo tube when compared to a Galore. And there you go, managed to avoid a torpedo. They're kind of getting the hang of this, not too much though, I'm still pretty rubbish at it, but you know, I'm certainly better than Savali is. And you know, you might feel like I'm knocking on our resident rock there, but he's really he has a nasty habit of bringing the ship to a dead stop, and that's really not something you want to do, especially when you've got a ship as maneuverable as the Sovereign. There's really no reason to be bringing your ship to a total stop. And as long as you keep your movement high, it's very unlikely you're going to get, you're going to rotate shield arcs like you can see here. And you're also not going to, you're not going to get shield penetration, which is something that you can potentially have with a torpedo impact. If both ships are heading towards each other, part of the impact of the torpedo can actually go through shields. So, because of, I guess that's just meant to be the kinetic impact. So, that's something that you have to watch out for. If someone fires a torpedo, the best thing to do is either broadside or move away from them, and you'll actually lessen the impact of the torpedo somewhat. But again, you can see me just rotating through both shield and phaser and weapon arcs. It's fairly simple once you get the hang of it. But again, because the Sovi is so manoeuvrable, you can do it at such a quicker pace than you could when you were in a Galaxy or you're in many other ships. From looking at some of the mod play that some of the guys have done, you can actually... wow, the Cairo's taking a beating. I really should have gone after those Galores. You can actually use smaller ships like the Defiant and various others to take out larger ships just simply based on your maneuverability. Because you can just avoid disruptor and torpedo fire really easily. Well, this is going to be a spanking. The Cairo's still firing, and the Galore is going to regret the day it was constructed, I think, at this point. This is at the point where if you were able to command the Cairo, you would literally just tell it to cloak. And just say, look, I'll handle this, you cloak. As you can see again, we've taken out 2 ships so far, and our shields are actually all in the green despite the impacts. That's the advantage of turning your shields up to 125% like I've done. And also the advantage of rotating through shield arcs is that as long as you take impacts not on your forward shields, as it were, or not on one continuous shield, your shields will actually recharge quite nicely, and that will make things a lot better for you.
Their hull is severely damaged, sir.
Yeah, no No bull, their shields are their hulls severely damaged. I think the Cairo should be able to finish it off there. I really don't want to use really no need to use torpedoes there. The Cairo's just blowing it to pieces using its disruptors. Is that ship blowing up or not? I can't tell. I think it's blowing up. Okay, last one. Just asking the Cairo to hang in there while I deal with this.
Auxiliary power is at 50%.
One thing I would like to do is just to be able to pull it off, but I guess the Cardassians are very intent on taking this warbird out. But yeah, the Romulans can't move around the Galore, which is, again, one of the big weaknesses of the warbird is just how slow it is. Those advanced photon torpedoes do deal quite a lot of damage when they hit, but I say when they hit, these things don't, those things don't hit. I just haven't seen... Oh, what the hell happened there? My tractor beam got disabled. Huh. Either they caught me a glancing blow or got a really lucky shot in. It's not like I use it anyway. Incoming. Oh, wow, that was terrible. Still, that's their torpedoes offline, so that's their ability to pretty much do damage offline. I was getting worried about the Cairo there, because I didn't want it to get hit, but that torpedo should finish it, and that's going to be the end of this fight. Oh, come on! How could... It's all red! Yeah, now it's dead. Excellent. Well, now maybe Captain Douchebag can actually give us some thanks.
We are being hailed by the warbird, sir. On screen.
Captain, ever since I was a child, I have been taught that no human can be trusted. It seems I was taught incorrectly. I thought you destroyed one of the ships under my command. Since you were in the area, I assumed you were responsible. I misjudged you, Captain. If we cross paths again, you will not find me your enemy. Good day.
The warbird has left the system.
Cancel yellow alert.
Sir, I am receiving a distress call. It's coming from the Belarus system. I'm putting it on screen.
This is Captain Corbus of the Junka to all ships in range. We are chasing an unidentified craft that attacked us. I invite any combat-worthy vessels to join us in our hunt. Much glory awaits you.
The signal originated near the Belarus system.
The Belarus system is a long way away by maximum warp. I doubt we could get there in time to be of much help. However, we may jeopardize the Federation's relations with the Klingons if we don't go.
Okay, I guess we're going to go and help some Klingons, I think, at this point, because I really want to go and smack whatever's there. And there does seem to be some kind of unknown race in the area, and I would really like to find out what's going on, because that seems to be where this is all going to be solved, because the Cardassians don't have the tech to sunbust anything.
Captain, 2 Klingon birds of prey and 1 Vorcha-class cruiser decloaking to starboard.
We are being hailed. On screen.
Ah, an honorable Starfleet warrior. I regret, Captain, you are too late. The enemy got away.
What happened?
We came to this system in search of the Gondev, a bird of prey with whom we lost contact. When we arrived, we encountered a strange vessel. We hailed the ship on all frequencies, but they did not respond.
Were they Cardassians or Romulans?
Neither, Commander.
Who was it then?
The High Council has declared that information secret. In short, I can't tell you what we saw, but I can tell you this. The vessel wasn't like any ship I've ever seen. Unless, of course, the Federation is developing a new line of ships they plan on using against the Empire.
That is beneath contempt. We won't dignify that with a response.
Regardless, Captain, we were attacked without provocation and we responded with lethal force. It turned tail and ran. We followed, but they managed to disable our ships. They may be cowards, but their weapons are incredibly accurate.
Can you maneuver at all, sir?
Repairs are underway. We expect to be operational momentarily. However, Our sensors were also damaged in the attack, and we have been unable to locate the Gondev. Will you perform a scan of the area for us?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir?
Your orders, sir. Initiating scan. Captain, our sensors are picking up faint readings near one of the asteroids. It appears to be a Klingon bird of prey. We must not have picked it up due to the radiation interfering with our sensors.
Hail the John Ka, Ensign.
What have you found, Captain?
There is a Klingon bird of prey near one of the asteroids. It may very well be the Gondev. We are transmitting the coordinates to you now.
Good. We'll have our engines online in a moment. Are there any life signs?
Commander, scan the derelict ship for life signs.
Sir, there is too much radiation to get a good sensor reading at this distance. We'll need to be within 20 kilometers to scan for life signs.
Intercept course plotted.
Wow, that ship's definitely seen better days. You'll notice that we're down to 114 photon torpedoes at this point, so I'm definitely releasing the shackles, shall we say, on firing torpedoes. But then again, you can just drop back to Starbase 12 at pretty much any point for a reload on photons, so I don't see the reason to really conserve them, to tell you the truth.
There are no life signs. I'm detecting weapons energy residue of a type not in our database. Whatever destroyed it must have been extremely powerful.
Captain, I'm picking up several Cardassian ships warping into the system.
They came back to finish the job.
Believe me, the ships that attacked us were not Cardassian.
The Cardassians are hailing us.
This is Legate Matan, head of House Arterius and commander of the Cardassian fleet in the Maelstrom. You are trespassing in our space and are required to leave. Now.
We are looking for survivors of one of our ships that vanished near here. Tell us where they are.
Cardassians do not capture Klingon crews. They are too primitive to be of any value. If one of my vessels encountered your people, they are now handfuls of dust. Perhaps you wish the same fate.
Insolent Topa!
Topa? Your insult wounds me, Klingon. Since I cannot hope to equal your wit, I shall communicate with you on a level you will understand.
Captain, the Cardassians have opened fire on the Klingons.
Red alert, shields up.
And meet the guy who's going to be a monstrous thorn in our side for the rest of this game. That is Legate Matan. And he's voiced by Earl Bowen, who is better known in Star Trek circles as the voice of Nagilum from Where the Silence is Least, but he's probably better known to the overall community as the guy who played Dr. Peter Silberman in the Terminator 1, 2 and 3 movies. So, again, the voice cast has certainly come home on this one, but I'd like to consider him Nagilum, so he's a menacing dark cloud apparently, which is quite appropriate considering this game, I think. But we're going to smack everything up fairly quickly here. Keldon and two Galores aren't really a big threat to us. And I think Matan is, I think he's invulnerable at this point. I don't think there's any way that you can actually take him out. That'd be a bit of a, you know, for someone who's a named bad guy, it's like he comes in, has a special ship, and he's dead within 30 seconds. That'd be an interesting way of making a hero ship, as it were.
Their bottom shield is draining, sir.
His Keldon is slightly stronger than a normal Keldon, but it's not, it's still no match whatsoever for a Sovi. So, now that he's on his own, and whoa, an advanced photon torpedo hit something. Did you see that, guys? Did you see that an advanced photon torpedo actually hit something? Advanced photon torpedoes do more damage than normal photons do, but they do appear to be an awful lot slower, easier to dodge, just not very good after all. But as you can see, his Keldon's taking an absolute battering now, and it'll be time for him to leave very shortly.
The Cardassians are hailing us.
Regretfully, I am late for a prior engagement. Farewell, Klingon and Federation filth. I shall
Stand down,
cleanse
weapons.
the maelstrom of you.
All stations, yellow alert.
Ah, Captain. The coward Matan flees, but he cannot escape. I will avenge the death of my comrades.
Sir, the Jonka has left in pursuit of the Cardassians.
Don't they know when to quit? If we don't follow them, they'll likely get themselves killed.
Yep, that's exactly what they'll do if we don't follow them, so we've got to get there quickly. And obviously it's also part of the Klingon Federation alliance, I suppose. But let's see where they're going. Come on, Diaz, could have painted this in oils by now.
They are headed toward Belarus 2.
There we go. So, Belarus 2, let's go. And let's see what the Cardassians have waiting for us, or if Matan's still there, because it would be nice to burn him from the sky.
Sir, I have numerous Cardassian contacts. They must have been waiting in ambush. Jonka is in trouble.
If we don't assist, our alliance with the Klingons could be jeopardized.
Sir.
Why do I get the feeling the Klingons are almost like an overly attached girlfriend? It's like, we must go massively into combat, you know, we must kill everything. I don't quite agree with that. You don't love me because you won't kill everything in my name. Like, geez, I think Janeway'd have a run-in with these guys. That's probably why the last episode of Endgame had her going one-on-one with Klingons, the only things that are as batshit insane as she can be. Anyway, it looks like we're going to be able to take on these Galors. It's 2 birds of prey against, and a Sovi against 4 Galors. Or the Jonka might even be a Vorchar class attack cruiser. Either way, it's still a pretty one-sided fight here. Well, there you go. One's definitely a bird of prey because of burning bird of prey fighter. And yeah, it's a Vorchar class attack cruiser. Sadly, no Nate Vard in this game, but I think that's more than likely for balance reasons than anything else, because the Nate Vard would obviously be a very, very powerful ship. Not certain it'd be a match for a Sovi, but it would be at least, you know, it would be a lot more powerful than a Vorchar class attack cruiser. And it does seem in this game like, you know, the Federation has bought a M16 assault rifle to a knife fight pretty much here, because you've got all the other races going around in their TNG ships, and then obviously Starfleet brings the Enterprise and the Sovereign into the Maelstrom. Sorry for the pause there, guys. Had a bit of a sneeze. So there's plenty of, you know, we bring our 2 most advanced ship in, and everyone's like, will this 20-year-old tech do? Probably not. Now, Vorchar class cruisers in this game are quite interesting. They have ridiculously strong forward shields. So as long as they can keep their forward, their 4 to the ship that they're attacking, they will win in a straight up punch up. However, as you can see, once he's got his ventral shields or his aft shields facing the enemy, they end up going straight through the Klingon shields, and it's really bad. It's why I tend not to bring Vorchars or Klingons with me on missions if I can avoid it, or I have the choice, is basically because the AI is not very good at piloting a ship like a Vorchar, which has really unbalanced shields. So in that case, I would rather have a ship that can just tank a load of damage. Warbirds are very good at that because they have very evenly distributed shields, and their hulls are really strong as well. But you know, who'd have thunk the Cardassians ran off and an ambush was waiting for us? But you know, it's kind of like I was saying, the portrayal of the Klingons does seem to be like really stupid on the whole thing. They seem to just be incapable of military tactics on a lot of occasions, and you do think that a warrior race would be a lot better at things like that. Anyway, that's this load of Cardassians mopped up, and let's see what the Klingons have to say for
All
themselves.
stations,
Cardassian
yellow alert.
ships.
We are being hailed by the Janka. On screen.
Thank you for your assistance, Captain. The coward, Matan, is not here, but he left a welcoming party for us. You fight bravely and well, Captain. Not a compliment a Klingon often gives a human. I will speak to the Emperor myself and get you the information you need. Until we fight again. Kapla!
It seems clear the Cardassians are instigating the attacks in the area. I will relay our findings to Admiral Liu.
Admiral Liu is responding. On screen, Ensign.
Thank you for the information, Captain. I'm pleased we finally know who is behind these attacks. I am particularly pleased with your handling of the Romulans. I believe Starfleet Command made a good choice putting you in command of the Sovereign. A commendation will be noted in your records. Return to Starbase 12 for your next assignment.
Yay, commendation for me, because I actually roleplayed as a Starfleet officer and not shooting everything up in sight. But that ends this episode of Star Trek Bridge Commander, and next time we'll be looking a little bit more into the unknown source of these attacks. See you next time.